Hey guys, so I'm going to highlight the Merz portfolio for you real quick. This is my only leftover Xemen from today. So Xemen's not always my first go-to, but it is for my younger patients, right? Because it has the no proteins attached to it. So that's who I want to use in my younger clients to try to prevent resistance in their future if they're going to choose to do toxin for several years. The other parts I use Xemen are people with a heavy forehead. So I might dose Disport here and use Xemen in the forehead because it has lower molecular weight, and that way I'm less likely to drop them. So I will mix my toxins in different places, right? Also, I'm going to choose Xemen for all my lower face, or maybe even Lativo. But I'm just saying, use your lesser expensive toxin in your lower face muscles, such as your masseter, your DAO, and your platysmal bands. We're going to have to use high volume of units, basically because you can drive down the cost to your client or make more of a profit because you're not actually having to get rid of lines. And like, this product works. It's a great product. So that's where I typically will use a lot of my Xemen. Radies, the filler. You guys, everybody needs to carry Radies, and here's why. Because you have someone that already has that pillowy face from too much hyaluronic acid filler, or they have those malar bags under their eyes with a lot of skin laxity, then you want to choose a filler that has no water pull to it when you're filling the cheek area. So the calcium-based filler is 1.5 ml, so it's the most powerful G-prime filler there is for the cheek area. Plus, when you want to eliminate hydration and fluid from the equation, then this is definitely a must. That is the filler I'm going to choose when I want the most lift, or people who I want not to retain fluid from. I can tend to get a puffy face from too much hyaluronic acid, plus like my thyroid, everything like that. So I definitely opt for this. You can also hyperdilute this. You can hyperdilute it down with saline and use it as a biostimulator in places that you would use Sculpture in. So I like the preauricular area to pull up. This is a great jawline builder as well. I know a lot of people are afraid of Radies because of the calcium base, but they have done studies that hyaluronic acid does dissolve this too. And there is a document that is on our Connect team on what to do in a state of an emergency with the VO using hyaluronidase and Radies. And so for Bellatero, this is my go-to medial under eye. Sometimes I might take a different HA filler, like I'm gonna just be quite transparent because of not working for the manufacturer. I'm just telling you my go-tos for what reasons and why. I believe in having all the fillers in your toolbox, right? And I think my superpower is using different fillers on the right person in the right area, and I just get the most bang for their buck and the result that I want to achieve. But so typically I might take like a Restylane lift, honestly, on the lateral aspect, but this is my medial filler for the tear trough area. This has a little water pull, so you do want to only go to about 80% correction just to allow for that. This is also really good for fine lip lines and just like a nice subtle lip too. You can also, when you're hyperdiluting the Radies, mix in Bellatero for that extra hydration and the biostimulator effect as well. So you just need that little female lure lock adapter, female male connector to swish it back and forth, mix it all up, but this combined with Radies is really also very optimal. So I hope that helps explains some of the Xemen, the Radies, and Bellatero, and like places I would personally use it as an injector. But one last thing, let's talk about the toxin one more time, because sometimes it's trial and error on your clients. What works for one client doesn't always work for the next. You could inject me with any of these and I totally respond. But I have people that only Xemen works for. I have people that only Disport works for. I have people that only Botox Disport, or Botox works for, if I could even talk. But that is why, again, we carry the variety of all kinds. And I say starting out, get used to one, but it is really a disadvantage to your practice if you only carry one. You should at least have two at the very minimum to practice with because everyone's going to respond differently. Have a great day.